Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Mezco Toys 112 collective action figure review on Marvel's Green Goblin, which came out quite a while ago, but I finally got my hands on it over here, and I gotta say, I blame mostly Unparalleled Universe because of his video. I wanted this, and the imagery right here on the packaging looks fantastic. I love all these comic book panels spread throughout over here, all over the place, looking sweet. Nice image of Green Goblin over there on that back, a lot more artwork, looking really awesome. Really love what they're doing with the packaging right over here. This is a lot of fun. And then you can see spot varnish on the top. It says Green Goblin in green, and then not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Mezco toys, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Gobby out of the packaging, and wow, this figure is a lot of fun. It has the most eclectic assortment of accessories than any other Goblin figure by far. This could possibly be my very favorite Green Goblin figure ever. It's got so much going on with it. It's the most complete Green Goblin figure, I think, and man, I do have my gripes about it. We will talk about that. But, dude, I'm really impressed with this thing, and we have a lot of accessories to look at, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. We do get 6 different faces with this Green Goblin figure, and the body is not really that interesting, but damn it, oh god, I love this head sculpt so damn much. I think they did such a great job with this one. Look at that. The ears, the whole elf hat right here, everything about this, the tongue, the teeth, the eyes, they look amazing. And then you also have a maskless head right over here, which works out great because you have interchangeable hands with this figure, and the hand meant to hold this just fits perfectly right over here. And then it's kind of like that Wolverine popcorn bucket. And then you have just a regular smiling Green Goblin right here. Look at the freaking lip paint right there. God, they did such a good job with that. Man, I think these all look great. And then you have the cheesing one right there. Nice attention to detail with little bits of yellow or yellowish green over the green. Dark paint under the eyes. A little bit of a nick right over here, which isn't from me. If I did it, I would own it. And then, yeah, the elf hat looks great on all of these. And then you get 2 Norman heads, which both look really good. If you're seeing a little bit of a bluish hue coming from the left side of my camera, it's because I had to use a different light and just lost one of my lights. Just broke on me out of nowhere. So anyway, get this awesome freak out Norman head. I love how the right eye is all larger than the left. His eyes are not green, they're gray, but that would be a nice touch if they added a little bit of green over there. So yeah, and the hair looks great on these. Love the paint detail. Now the rest of the body, it doesn't look bad to me. It's not terrible, and I love what they actually did here with the scales. Like, that is very neat how they're just over this stretchy material. So that's really cool. It's just that the torso is a little bit on the bland side, and I do have the satchel facing this direction. I've done it before where it's facing the other direction, but I referenced Amazing Spider-Man 17 quite a bit while looking at the accessories over here, and yeah, it goes over his left hip. And then I guess you could open that if you want to. I really don't want to. You have a little bit of slack over here, which is kind of annoying, so I have to tuck it around here. And I love that they put a bendy wire in the strap for the satchel. Real metal buckle over there. And then real air blower outside. Now, the torso does look bland when it's vanilla posed. Look at that. It's just a tube. It looks really lame. But as soon as you start bending it around and start getting some wrinkles formed in there, you can start seeing some of that muscle definition come through, and it just looks a lot better. I wish this was a little bit tighter, but it doesn't look so bad once you start posing them around. I love the wrinkles for the gloves. Again, the whole scale mail thing right here looks really awesome. It's very posable. And, when we get into that, I'll complain about the feet, of course, which I did modify my Spider-Man figure. Then he does have peg holes right there. Then you're just looking at the back. You get the Goblin butt with the seam right through the crack right over there, which is kind of funny when you look at it from behind while he's on the glider, and you get a seam right there. Now, I do have the fisted hands on the figure right here, but it also comes the set of Bat Drone holding hands, Pumpkin Bomb holding hands, Goblin Sparks hands. You get this uneven set of hands where we have the mask holding hand right here, and I guess this is another Bat Drone holding hand, just to demonstrate. That fits right in there very nicely. Like that a lot. Get more of these gesture hands right here, and a set of relaxed hands. Quick question for you guys. Who is your favorite Spider-Man villain? My favorite Spider-Man villain is Doc Ock. I don't know if I'm going to get the new Doc Ock from Mezco, but I want to know, who is your favorite Spidey villain? As always, I'm not the biggest fan of the Mezco stands. They're not bad or anything. It's just that I don't like using them, and I'd rather not have Green Goblin suspended in the air by the waist with a clear clamp. So luckily we have these little boosters right over here that we could put underneath the Goblin glider, and these effect pieces look awesome. I love these little smoke plumes right over here. The translucent orange plastic looks great on these. So as far as displaying my figure like this, I'd much rather have him just up in the air, even though it doesn't really make sense if he's moving forward. You also get this jet effect piece right here. You can go ahead and port this into the back. I did find it a little tricky to do though, so I had to heat this up first, and I like rotating as I push that in there, and that looks pretty good. And the glider looks really good too, man. I really love the silver paint on it. Hey, did you know that the glider was originally more like a broomstick? Yeah, it's kind of a trip seeing that, but anyway, they did a great job with this. It does have a little bit of the Mezco-fication to the design right here, and it looks really good. Porting these into the bottom of the feet is very important. You may be a little scared to open these up or close them while the feet are on there, but as long as the foot is pegged in all the way and the foot's straight, you can go ahead and snap that in and it'll be just fine. I really like the attention to detail with the line work on this, and then at the bottom right over here you can see these fans or these turbines going on right over here, which are removable. You get a little bit of articulation with the wings. You can move them up and down. For some reason I feel like I get a little bit more range of movement with this side, but yeah, they could move up and down, and you have real working pistons in there. And then you also have this handle, which you could have him grab if you want to. I actually didn't have him grab this, but you could if you wanted to do that. Move these little turbine pieces right here, which is easy to do. There's two ports and they don't have the same shape, which is great. And you could go ahead and port this in right there. Do the same thing to the other side, and then now you can have it displayed like that, which looks really cool. I know it doesn't make sense if he's pushing himself forward and up at the same time, but yeah, I still think this is just a much cooler display piece like this. I really like it a lot. Nice little details with the buttons over there and everything. This is sick. And then lastly, you get all of these other accessories over here. Mezco is just crushing it with the accessories. I love the deep cuts in Amazing Spider-Man 17. Anyway, you get 6 different pumpkin bombs over here, and then you get these 2 that have little effects added to them. So this one has a little bit of a smoky effect above it, and then this one has some fire coming out of the face, which looks great with that translucent orange and yellow. God, I love this one right over here. You get 3 of these angry looking pumpkin bombs right there. You get 3 of these happy looking pumpkin bombs, and they fit into the hands very easily, and you can see that right there. That is really cool. You get the Goblin spark effect piece, which I don't think anyone's ever attempted before. It has a little hole at the end of it, so you could port that onto a finger, and yeah, that's so satisfying. That's very, very cool. I'm so happy to have this. I'm so glad they did that. You get the bat drones, which look great. So yeah, in 17, they created a black cloud around Spider-Man, if I remember correctly. And then you get this little piece right here, which you could easily port into a hand. If I don't screw it up, it's easy. There you go. So that's cool. You could configure that however you want to. Use it for different hands too if you wish. You get these 3 other bat drones also. Then you get this awesome looking ghost cloud right here, which at one point I thought was also a net to be thrown on Spider-Man. But in 17, yeah, it's a little cloud that sucks the oxygen away from Human Torch. It does show him throwing these with his right hand, and then the figure's throwing him with his left hand. Not a big deal. But this looks really cool with the gray paint right over here. I just love how this looks. This is so awesome. Then you get this really cool looking pumpkin bomb getting thrown right over there. Love the effects. Oh man, so freaking good. I love these. And then you get the exploding toad right over here, which he uses to blow up a zip line or a webbing that Spider-Man's using. And yeah, this is just really, really dope. Can't help but love the attention to detail on these. Oh man, this is so freaking cool. I love this. So you can see as we look further back, this tube section of the torso does throw me off, but again, when you bend it around, it doesn't look as bad. Anyway, good articulation on the figure. You can move the heads up fairly far, a decent amount anyway. Can move them down all the way along with that neck joint. You can turn side to side, and great head pivoting. Shoulders will move up and outward almost at the 90-degree mark. Can move them down that much. Rotate forward, rotate back, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Is there forearm rotation? There is. Forearm rotation right there, and the hand moves with it. And then you get the wrist swivel, and then you could hinge up and down or side to side depending on how you have it configured. I wish we can get more movement right here in the torso. So you have the diaphragm cut right here. It does pivot at the diaphragm, crunches forward only that much, moves back that much. Waist joint, churns side to side, only rocks back and forth that much, and it pivots the tiniest bit. So with both of those joints, you can only get them crunching forward that much, and that's frustrating. I wish you could crunch more, a lot more than that, especially with the not super baggy, but fairly baggy suit right here. I still have that satchel kind of falling off, but anyway, you could move the legs outward very far, can get them kicking forward up at 90 degrees. Does look a little funny back there. Moves back a bit, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. You do get the boot rotation moving along with the foot. And then, yeah, we get the very limited ankle articulation on these Mezco figures. You could bend down, it doesn't really move up that much, and rotate the ankle side to side, and it has a bit of ankle pivot. Not the worst, but I just wish they had more ankle pivot. I did modify my Amazing Spider-Man figure. I just couldn't take it anymore after I did it to the TMNT figures. I went and did it to the Spider-Man, and even though you get some gappage, it's just so much more fun to play around with having a full range of movement at the ankles. Yep, the gap's there. I could hide it if I want to, but I'm genuinely happier with the figure having more range of movement than not. Now, to measure out this Goblin figure, you can see that he's standing a little bit over 6.5 inches tall. Not too bad. To measure out the glider and just seeing it next to the figure right here, it doesn't look too small. I can see if people are annoyed at being a little smaller than they want it to be, but I think it works out just fine. But just to measure out the width of this glider, you can see it's about a little bit under 5 inches across. I guess the length of it too, you can see it's about 3.5 inches across with the flame effect, about 5.5 inches across. Now to get into just a few size comparisons, you can see our 112 Collective Amazing Spider-Man recently released by Mezco next to the Green Goblin, and I like the height difference between these two. They both look really good, and yeah, I'm probably going to sell off that first version because I do want to get Dr. Doom. I have been loving what Mezco's been doing lately, so I need that Doom to go with my new Fantastic Four set. And here's our new Mezco 112 Collective Green Goblin next to some Marvel Legends Green Goblins. I can't remember the wave. This is the retro card, and then this is another animated 2-pack Green Goblin right over here. And man, God, this is my favorite out of the four of them, but you can see the more form-fitting design on the torso, the more musculature frame looks better, right? I like it a little bit more. That's my biggest downside with this figure. I gotta see if these new heads will fit on these Marvel Legends. Whoa! Oh no. The peg's a little tough to get on there, but wow, for the animated one, that looks really good. Yeah, a little tough getting it on this one too. Those ball pegs don't match perfectly, but if you wanted this to be your definitive Green Goblin figure, oh my god, I wouldn't blame you if you went this route. That looks pretty damn cool, man. Yeah, just to see it, even though the colored green doesn't match at all over here, I'm just happy that these heads fit on these Legends figures. However, I'm still going to use the Mezco body with them. Then here you can see Green Goblin has about the same color flesh tone as the recently released Marvel Legends She-Hulk, right? And the purples are about the same too. And then here's Green Goblin next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, another baddie. Bet you're going to hit me with one of those pumpkin balloons, huh? Are you going to use one of those batarangs? Or one of those groovy ghoulies? What's it going to be, huh? Huh? Ah! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. It was fun to do some stop motion again today, and I really like this figure a lot. If you liked the video and you liked the figure, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future content. And I know this figure's been out for a while, and big thanks again to Big Bad Toy Store for making it happen. But damn it, I'm kind of sad I waited so long to get this figure. I was on the fence for a long time, and I'm happy to finally have it in hand over here, and I really like this Green Goblin figure a lot. Is it the very best Green Goblin figure ever? I personally think that there are things lacking here for me to say that with absolute confidence. It's my favorite Green Goblin, but I don't think it's one where I could say like, hey, if you don't have this, then you can't call yourself a Green Goblin fan. You know what I mean? It's not one of those. The torso thing, that just takes away a lot from it, and I can understand how people would rather have some of the Marvel Legends figures over this one, so I totally get that. It doesn't lose points for me, though. I don't pose my figures on the shelves in vanilla poses. I have them in dynamic poses. Some of them are kind of piled in there like Iron Man armor, but you know what I'm saying. For the most part, he's going to be displayed in a dynamic pose, and that tubular body's not going to distract me from enjoying the figure at all. So for me, I personally am just ecstatic about this thing. It is expensive, as we know with all our Mezcos, so for the price point of around $100, I'm gonna give this Mezco 112 Collective Green Goblin figure a Sud rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think, so I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments section below. If you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.